was my great-grandfather, had joined the Michigan militia and fought at the Battle of San Juan Hill during the Spanish-American War. So that was 1898. And I knew him pretty well as a child. He died when I was 14. So he was almost 100. He was 99 and a half, I think. And so got to hear his story, his experiences of that very brief war in Cuba, 3-month war in Cuba. But part of his experience, and something that kind of has lived on in our family, even since his death, is the homecoming he experienced, and how civilians were a major part of his homecoming in 1898. So what they had done during the Civil War, during the Spanish-American War, was they brought the troops home by ship, and they dropped them at a staging area on Long Island, up at the northern point, Montauk Point, and there they had built, just very hastily, a camp for them. So think of large fields with rows of tents, and all of the soldiers that we're bringing back, virtually all of them, had mosquito-borne illnesses. So dysentery, malaria, whatever. You can imagine the diarrhea and the infectious nature of all of this. And so this was not a well thought through plan. And also, by the way, they were hungry. They hadn't been fed well while they were in Cuba. The logistics of the whole operation had been not performed very well. So, for example, Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders, their horses never made it over there. People imagine the Rough Riders riding up the hill heroically on their horses. No, they went up the hill on foot. So my great-grandfather's experience is he was in this camp and not doing very well. And there was a wealthy woman named Jack R. Bean who brought her butler and her horse-drawn carriage up and took my grandfather and, I don't know, 4 or 5 other guys home to her home in the city, New York City, and nursed them back to health for, weeks.
Amazing.
6 weeks. And in her own home. Yes, right. It is amazing. And then gave them money so that they could get train rides home. And my great-grandfather went home to Michigan. And that's, so I grew up with this awareness that soldiers are affected by war, and that there are things civilians can and should be doing to pitch in and be part of the effort to take care of our troops.